One of the things that we often see is seniors, or particularly seniors, will receive a letter advising that they have won a lottery or sweepstakes. Now, when I do these trainings, oftentimes I'll begin with a group saying that I'm about ready to pull a name for a door prize. And the senior groups get all upset, they get angry, they get vocal and all that, because they didn't recall entering the door prize that was part of this training session. And I make the point of, how can you win anything that you've never entered? There is no door prize. And it just makes a point that a lot of people will get things from Irish sweepstakes that are not legitimate. My secretary of 29 years brought in her mother, her elderly mother, who received a letter from a group called Microfinancial Incorporated out of Tustin, California, and also in British Columbia. And Donna, our producer, is being good about maybe trying to zoom in on that.
I think so. This is actually a real fraud situation that came right to your secretary's door via her mother.
That's correct. And with this letter was a check. No, it was a check for almost $4,000, and I don't know if the viewers are able to see, but it's drawn on AT&T.
Looks pretty official.
From Syracuse, New York. This was an actual check that was what we call washed. It was probably a rebate check. I talked to AT&T's security department about this, and they weren't aware of this scam. But a very common thing is that the senior will be sent a check for several $1,000s, asking them to deposit it into their bank account in order to cover the taxes for $129,000 that the mother of my secretary was
so the letter's
promised.
saying she won $129,000, but the check that they have to deposit covers all the taxes.
Allegedly, that's correct. And then what happens, once the money's there, it gets wire transferred out. And then under our banking laws, technically the endorser of that check, in other words, my secretary's mother, could be held liable for that amount when the bank finds that the check did not clear.
And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
But you said that's just the way it is. When you sign your name on the back of a check, you're putting your good faith that you know who wrote this check. And
that's correct. Another one, my mother, I'm a co-signer with a bank account she has with SunTrust Bank in Florida, in Tampa is their headquarters. And we received an email that said, recently there's been a large number of identity theft attempts targeting SunTrust companies. This is an identity theft attempt. And what they're saying is, in order to safeguard her account, she has to confirm her banking details, including her credit card information, password and login information for online banking. And once again, we have that common element of this process is mandatory, and if not completed within the nearest time. Now, that's the other thing about these scammers is I've seen a lot of their stuff. They write very poor English, oftentimes because English is a second language for them.
Because this could be coming from...
Oh, Nigeria, there's a lot that originate there. And then it's securely confirm. You can securely confirm, and maybe you can see SunTrust bank details. They hook my mother to a link. Thank goodness she called me, and I alerted SunTrust security to this.
And I think what's scary is this looks like official stationery.
Right.
This looks, and it is her bank.
It's her bank. It also has SunTrust logo on it. And Tampa, Florida was not aware yet that this was targeting some of their banking customers.
So some of our viewers are watching, they think, well, what am I to do? How, first of all, you've told us anything that needs an immediate response, beware of.
Be suspicious.
Anything that's asking for credit card numbers, login numbers, passwords, there's no way that your bank would be asking for that.
That's correct. As a general rule, never give your Social Security card or your Social Security number over the telephone unless you've initiated that call and you know the person answering on the other end is the Social Security Administration or your bank. That's always, if someone, legitimate financial institutions will not call you on the telephone and ask you for your personal information during a telephone conversation.
So for the phone and for the mail, we just have to really have our protections and our well, I say our antennas.
The radar, yes.
Yeah, the radar has to be up because they are targeting the older adults.
Yeah.